People, especially nowadays, people don't really spam at you when you have a Sombra on your team. So using that pack as it's kind of isolated, and there's generally only tanks playing up on the top left.
It's a little bit sad to not see the maze anymore used offensively and offensively like we saw back towards E-League, where everyone loved to wall off this front door, and no one was really able to figure out a way to get around that one. Let's use a May of your own to wall them off. But in the meantime, we do see mafu going to be sitting towards the back here, able to help protect anyone he does need to. Zuppehw probably going to be off to his side. Actually going to help not just a tag team together, but you can see the damage being done to sharyk as well. But Fragi getting a little bit overconfident here, does get bursted down in time. I think maybe a hack came in or something, because uNFixed has switched over to Sombra.
Indeed he has. I was waiting to see if they would go for the attacking Sombra play. We've seen a few teams do it so far. Still going to be trading evenly here. Buying the frags for Ninjas in Pyjamas. It's going to be mafu just running around, trying to hunt for it. The point is being played. Still not actually a single tick on the board just yet for eUnited. Switching rounds.
I was about to say, it's got to be uNFixed, because they don't see anyone. It's going to be him stealthed up, and he does get the hack onto hymzi, forces the D-suit as well, and I think eUnited have taken the point on the first attack.
They have indeed, and uNFixed now built up to 70% of his EMP, which is most likely going to be 100 when they're leading into this last attack. Attacking this last point at least. Now, Ninjas in Pyjamas, they need to be setting up. They have no ultimates to work with. Boombox already has his Transcendence. This is actually going to be huge for them. Can initiate it if they so wish with the support ult. uNFixed here going to be hacking up the packs. Drops down his little relocator.
It's really close though. So it's really going to come down to if eUnited can land an EMP on Zuppehw, and if they can, they're most likely going to take this point just straight off on the first push.
Well, time will tell. Vallutaja does go down to zappis. The 1v1 going to be losing that one in the end. uNFixed is thinking about it, going to be trying to set up a position onto the point, I suppose. I mean, what's the play right now for eUnited? What's the win condition coming into this? Because you've got a lot of ultimates to work with, but it's the execution of it. If you mistime something, it could be a bit disastrous.
Right now, you just really want to look to basically switch off the Sombra, at least in my opinion, that you want to switch her off. So you're going to be looking for engaging with the Sombra. So even if it goes wrong, you just switch off to another hero. But if it goes really right, they're probably going to take this point.
There we go. They're going to be waiting for the EMP. Actually, look at this. Ninjas in Pyjamas, the positioning is all over the place. Still, the hack is going to be good enough for them. Tries to connect it onto hymzi, but he does just boost himself away in the nick of time. uNFixed getting ran down here. They've spotted him out. Ninjas in Pyjamas playing around his Sombra pick very well, in fact. They're not letting him get the EMP, any high-value EMP off whatsoever. So the ultimates have been built up by eUnited in the meantime. sharyk collects the first kill. Vallutaja with the post bomb. Are they falling at the seams here? Still holding onto this Dragon Blade. Kruise now opting to pop it off. Transcendence was used, however, so we can't quite find the damage. We're going to be putting in a lot of work for his team. Brings down Zuppehw. Now the EMP just to follow it up. It's going to be a self-destruct as well. Brought into the back lines. hymzi does collect consolation kill. Still contesting the point up. Already gained one tick down. Sound barrier is going to be used as well by eUnited just to really take the longest fight they possibly can here. hymzi's going to get not quite hacked up here, but he is going to get de-suited out of the mech regardless of that. And eUnited, they have the man advantage here, Jason, to take the fight even further forward.
They do, but kynnel's able to get his sound barrier off, but it just doesn't seem to be enough here as mafu eventually going to turn around one kill. So now one healer is now down, but the problem is Valu has that hacked health pack, that mini, to keep him healthy when he does need the heals. And they're going to be about halfway through the capture here as they're still trickling in one by one, but I think eUnited have just lost too many people with uNFixed and Kruise going down to really take this point. So Kruise, switch over to Roadhog now, uNFixed. Will he stick to Sombra as he's at 80%, and it looks like he's going to be doing just that. So with no Transcendence to stop anything, I'm a little bit sad to not see eUnited still using that Genji, because there's, I mean, without the Trance is the only thing that's been actually stopping Kruise in that last fight and previous fights from really picking up multiple kills.
Oh, mafu beefed his jump a little bit there. Unlucky. It's not like the stream quarter or anything. It's fine. It's fine.
As we can see, uNFixed has also switched off. Even though he had 80%, it's gonna take him like basically too long to actually get those 20%, and not like instead of just switching to Soldier and start building up his ultimate.
So he switched over Kruise onto the Roadhog, as you mentioned as well. They're going to be trying to body block them. Look at this by Fragi, just holding up the shield, and they've actually managed to find a kill onto sharyk as a result of it. He just couldn't escape into the back alley as the escape route was blocked off. And Nib still holding strong for now. zappis has the pulse bomb. Zuppehw almost with the nano boost. In fact, that's going to be ticking it over as he just plants the bio grenade at his feet. A lot of ultimates, they've got a nano visor to use as well if they want to combo it up. And eUnited, no support ults across the board to try and defend against it.
I think Ninjas really want to look here into just basically only using the visor.
Ooh, okay, hook from Kruise, finds an opening, but he's probably going to pay with his life, indeed he does. However, the point is being played. Boombox as well, just providing the support. Mafu, he pops off the tactical visor, he still has it, however. I believe it didn't actually get used in the nick of time. They burst him down quickly and efficiently, however. Still, eUnited moving even further forward, 2 ticks on the board, still so close to getting it. They're going to try and use the nano boost now onto Mr. Zappis to try and tag it up, but it's not going to be working out for them. And the point will go to eUnited.
That recall, actually, even though he was nano boost on the Tracer, just kind of cost him there.
Yeah.
A little unfortunate for him because he actually got pulled back off the point and eventually moved away from that. And I think eUnited be really happy with that. You can see Morte getting a cheeky smile in there, and NIP realizing maybe they'll do a little bit better on their attacking side. A little bit tough. 3 minutes of time for eUnited. I don't know, NIP. I don't know, man.
It's tough for them because they're in this position now where, I mean, these are Ninjas in Pyjamas' map picks as well. And eUnited are just really just taking them all around the town for a good old show. Just up and down. 3 minutes on the clock for them on Hanamura. It's a difficult situation to fight your way out of. I mean, Nip, they're calm, collected. This is how these guys usually are and how they usually play. You can see there, just waiting patiently. Mafu with his signature hat. He's just really licking his lips. Living life, but...
I'm really surprised to see no May coming out of eUnited. Because of, as you can see on the NIP side, they're still running that Reinhardt. And it is the reason why we don't see many Mays anymore, especially on Hanamura.
Yeah.
It's because people are more and more basically only running dive. As you could see that eUnited was running dive, and pretty much any other team is also running dive on this, especially on this first point. But since NIP isn't, you actually have an opportunity here to play May, and it just basically stall out for free without really. You don't even need to use the wall because NIP needs to be really focused on whatever they can actually like run in or not.
Yeah.
So then, who would you switch for the May? Or the Tracer, the Soldier, or the Genji? Who would you switch out?
I definitely switch out the Genji or the Tracer, one of the two.
The timer will tick down. It's Ninjas in Pyjamas time to show us what they're capable of. 4 minutes to start with, but let's see if they do manage to clinch out the map against eUnited here. Hanamura going the third map in this series between them. Still switching and keeping with the dive comp, but Boombox is on the Ana, the defensive Ana for now. Nip going to be running Zuppehw on the Zen, going to be trying to lay in the damage with his orbs, Discord orbs as well, putting in a decent amount of work. And they are finding a foothold here as they're all just moving as a concise unit throughout the building area, but that's a beautiful bio grenade. It's going to deny a lot of healing off. Immediately, Ninjas in Pyjamas on the defensive, have to back off and play around this choke point around Fragi's shield.
That biofield there out of Mafu, I mean, got so much value out of that. Up to 50% of his ultimate, practically uNFixed only about 40%, even though uNFixed has had the opportunity to pick up a lot more free damage and a lot more ult percent. Either way, though, they're going to be flanking around towards the point.
I like this positioning by them. This is similar to what Cloud9 do, where they just wait for the basic positioning and then take the fight based off of that. And immediately, look, they found a foothold onto the point. Mafu's in a very solid position as well, where he can't really be jumped on by eUnited's dive. Boombox in a bit of trouble as well, half HP, so... Oh. Bio grenade, though, that was across the map. That was a Kobe shot from Boombox, and he set them up. Kruise with the 2K moves into the back line, sharyk to follow up, and Ninjas in Pyjamas. This push is dead in the water.
I really feel like eUnited is not gonna have a really good count on how much Mafu has his ultimate, because he used that healing and he got so much ultimate off that, and because he didn't shoot, as you generally count what a hero has for ultimate, just because how much damage it does, and many people don't even really realize how much ultimate gain you really get from Soldier. Yeah. So I feel like
oh no, Kruise moving a bit of Dragon Blade. He's found 3, he's looking for 4, and he will not get it just yet, but finally he gives them up, and Ninjas in Pyjamas will be falling. That is just the perfect situation if you are a Genji player. Swift strike into all of them, all that burst damage, following up with the blade. Filthy.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, NIP didn't commit a single ultimate. That's pretty much going to be a fight United's going to win nonetheless, especially when you do pop a blade in such a tight area. But even looking back to the initial attack that NIP did have when they rotated around that right-hand side, you know, Fragi eventually has to recharge that shield, and that gives opportunity for Boombox to just land that bio grenade. But now pushing up main, trying to get direct up to point here. Fragi trying to facilitate this one. Pops here, shutter down, catches onto, it looks like 1. And eventually the charge to come through to take down sharyk. And they also have the position, most important.
Okay, they've used actually the nano boost there onto Kruise. He doesn't have a blade to work with. Transcendence from Nip is going to be keeping them alive as well, and they've still got another support out if they want to rotate it around. Here comes the tactical visor by uNFixed, but zappis with the post bomb brings him down before he can get any damage done with it. Surely Ninjas in Pyjamas holding them here. 1 minute 30. So much cap time already for eUnited. They do not want to give this up, but it looks like Ninjas in Pyjamas are coming out on top. My goodness.
eUnited really misplayed there. As they forced out like already 3 ultimates of NIP, they should have just really... if they wanted to, they should have tried to use maybe the visor just to see if they could get value of it, but they should have saved everything else just for this first push here.
Oh, well, there's the May you were wondering about before, as they're going to see it come in towards the high ground. Look at that, you can hear Kruise already picking up kills left and right as they've been separated from their team, and NIP going to be halted in their tracks yet again. Here, Zappis just going to back away.
Do you know what it reminds me of? The Kruise in that scenario. It was like a, a horror movie scene when like the door closes and you just hear the screams while the monster's ripping them to pieces.
Yeah.
The ice wall coming up, Kruise just tearing through ninjas in pajamas. But still, I mean, did they commit to any ult stat? Fragi used his Earth Shatter pretty early on, so I mean, he's already 60% to it. And we also see they've got a sound barrier to use as well, defensive ult. Zuppehw almost got his Transcendence as well, so Ninjas in Pajamas aren't in the worst state of mind here for this push. But uNFixed with this May, like you said, to Vic, it's almost the perfect pick here when you're playing against a tanky composition.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to point out, is the fact that we're still seeing the Reinhardt, and NIP want to commit to the high ground position, so this is going to happen, right?
This is what's going to happen over and over again until NIP can successfully bait it out or they kill the May.
In the past, when May was super strong, do you remember when you essentially get a Blizzard every fight? And it was...
Don't remind us of those days, please.
It was ridiculous.
The worst.
You can get 2 perfects.
Players used to just bait it out. Ridiculous. And the post one's going to be used by zappis to try and set them up for a fight here. Ninja in Pajamas still holding on to a strong series of ultimates if they want to be utilizing them. Fragi's almost got his Earth Shatter as well. hymzi has a Southern Strike if they wanted to initiate in with this. Sound barrier might get forced out here by Nip. They're waiting and holding on to this. Falling so weak. It's going to be Transcendence first, but sharyk collects 2 kills with the Primal Rage onto mafu. And kynnel just couldn't actually collect the healing for them. That was a bit iffy there by Ninjas in Pajamas.
So what's your thoughts on what Zappis did there? Because we got the rest of his team trying to push towards high ground, but Zappis actually went straight to the point, almost got a third of the capture progress. Do you think it...
Okay.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Fragi used the Earth Shatter there, trying to set up the team. Self-destruct as well. What is going on? What is...
Are they trying to help uNFixed get the achievement for the spray?
eUnited kept on trying to push out and try to get cleaners, while Fragi just stunned 2 or 3 people, but the May was not stunned and was managed to save the rest of his teammates.
Oh no, this May pick is dismantling them. Now Kruise moving in with the Dragon Blade as well, searching for opportunities, forces out the support ults, but he's putting in so much damage into them. And really now Morte as well, collecting the kill onto Fragi initially, finding even more, just running them down here. Mafu's in a bit of trouble as well, as he's going to get booped down into the low ground, into the corner. sharyk just happy. Oh, did sharyk, is he going to fall? No, he's got the boop. He's going to leap himself back up alive. But this is ridiculous. eUnited, this May pick has completely just thrown Ninjas in Pajamas off balance. They don't know what to do about it. They're not baiting out the May wall.
Well, that's kind of the problem for NIP, right? Is that their hero pools are kind of limited when it comes to switching to a dive comp. We've got Zappis on the Tracer, but there's no Genji to follow up with, and Fragi has finally switched over to the Winston, most importantly.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, mafu kind of has to hope that those 3 players can clear up enough room and give him enough real estate and space to work with that he can get on this middle ground.
They're doing the same thing over and over and over again. They keep pushing into this top left area, and every time the May ice wall comes up, they try and cut them off here. sharyk's going to move in as well, tries to get the initiation out. uNFixed still has that Blizzard. Possible to be used on sharyk. zappis does collect a kill for his team, so this is looking a bit more promising for them. Ice wall's off cooldown as well, so not going to get caught out of position from it. Ultimate's online. Blizzard now finally going to get committed, but doesn't actually connect onto anyone from Ninjas in Pajamas. They don't have the line of sight for it, and the point's going to start to get played a little bit as well by Nip as they're working their way around, still holding onto the high ground. Ice wall by uNFixed to trying to block line of sight from the high ground, connecting a few shots onto zappis. Oh, just misses the second one, and eUnited getting a bit sweaty here, forced to use these defensive support also to try and take the fight.
NIP really need to have more people committing towards the point, especially in that push, since they have the compositional advantage over that. eUnited is still were still playing May, and they had an opportunity to basically either just rush in from another entrance, which they haven't been using it before. But I still feel like NIP is really like shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, just because they're not splitting up the Tracer with the rest of them, just making sure that the Tracer actually has like an opportunity to get behind the May and just shooting him in the back, basically forcing him to react either to dueling the Tracer or just back off. But then again, eUnited has a really good control of that by having so many people playing on the far right side, so it's really hard for the Tracers to actually do it.
So this should allow NIP to potentially get towards the high ground control eventually, As we do see or hear Zappis back on the point yet again. Going to be attack visor popped out and responded by Transcendence, but now Kruise trying to pop his blades to really do something about this. Won't have the opportunity. The self-destruct should at least chase him away for now, but no kills going to be netted off the back of that. sharyk below half HP, but he's the only one on the point actually trying to contest, trying to buy some time. It's fine. The NIP do start picking up kills.
Absolutely, they're working into the tail end of this fight right now off the back of it, still holding onto the high ground as well. Zappis assisted with the Discord Orb, Zuppehw going to be putting in work, claiming the frags, 2 ticks already, almost free. No contention whatsoever from eUnited there. Ninjas in Pyjamas securing out the map, and they've got a minute on the clock to work with.
As you can see, as soon as the NIP started to throw some bodies onto the point, you really saw that eUnited's defense kind of crumbled a little bit because they only have one guy really to go on the point, and if that guy is not peeling for the rest of his teammates in the choke points, it gets really hard for eUnited to continue playing the style that they are playing up on that high ground.
Absolutely, it's a struggle for them. I mean, I was a bit confused. Nip were going for the same push over and over again, wasn't quite working out for them, but eventually, as you said, put bodies on the point, suddenly turns it into their favor. United didn't really know what to do in that scenario, but United still have a large advantage coming into this. They've got 3 minutes 47 seconds in their time bank to use, whereas Ninja in Pyjamas only have a minute, and it is going to be United on the defense to begin with. So Nip, only a minute to attack with. It's a rough situation. How are they going to play this?
If eUnited would have a May here, it would basically be 20 or 30 seconds only for NIP to actually push that, because how long it really takes
realistically
for them to really just debate out the wall.
Is this only going to be one push here for Nip?
It could potentially be 2 if they just rush straight in and then just go straight for the point and maybe hope for a pick, which is not very ideal. But if they decide to go for their long around push and then keeps on getting picked off, it's going to be really rough for NIP to actually get these first points.
Let's see, here we go, as NIP going to be back on the attack here, looking to at least take some progress on this point, if not capture it. And eUnited again, back on the defense for another time. Looks like the point, for the most part, is left a little bit open and a little bit vulnerable, but NRP are taking the time to start to push in. Zappis is going to be sticking with his team for now. sharyk trying to collect that early damage as they force him into that side room.
A lot of damage in here. If they get picked off even a single player, they're going to be in a very unfavorable waters, so to speak. Kruise, however, goes down to mafu's Helix Rockets. That's an opening to work with. 27 seconds on the board. Ninjas in Pyjamas have got to get their feet running now onto this point. Going to start playing it again, just rotating all the way around, playing it nice and patiently, trying to get the better positioning. And this worked last time. They got it in the first push in the most recent time when they were attacking on Hanamura. Already 1 tick on the board. eUnited not in a position to try and contest. They're still holding onto the high ground. Is this going to be a second tick? It is indeed. Zappis following up with the kill onto Boombox in the back lines. Meaning they're losing a bit of utility as well. Mafu just laying down the damage. Zappis putting in the work as well. And it will be them capping it up for 30 seconds now to assault this. Kruise is in the back, just trying to delay as long as he possibly can. They're losing a lot of players here, but eUnited, or Ninjas in Pyjamas, I should say, have 20 seconds to attack this last point.
It was really good of Kruise to actually get those picks off, because now, as you can see, it's only 13 seconds left, and they're only now getting through the first choke.
Stagger point's very important. There's 7 seconds on the board here, and they might be in a sticky situation and need to get onto the point. Are we going to be Fragi resorting to the charge? No, it's going to be the Transcendence. Going to be keeping them alive for now. Ninja in Pyjamas trying to take this fight into the overtime. Haven't quite secured the tick. Mafu going to be leading it in. Kruise though with the Dragon Blade, putting in a lot of work. Puts in the damage into Fragi, forces him out of the fight for now. The Discord Orb as well, going to be assisting him in that regard. The kills thoroughly going in eUnited's favour. They've already picked up 3, uNFixed, completely uncontested into the high ground with the tactical visor. A last-ditch effort comes out from hymzi as he lays down the self-destruct. But I think this is going to be, once again, too little, too late, as eUnited claim it the defense.
It would have looked very, very differently if Kruise weren't able to secure those 3 kills on their first point. As now eUnited managed to get their hold up on the high grounds, and because of that, NIP is forced to just rush in and basically playing straight into eUnited's game and just abusing the high grounds just straight off with the NIP really not being able to do anything about it.
Well, even in the same boat, if maybe Kruise didn't get picked off initially by mafu's Helix Rockets, that could have been a different story of the first point too. So kind of, again, hindsight's always 20/20. We can look at mistakes, but we don't know what would have happened if things played out a little bit differently. We're seeing eUnited run a Sombra yet again here for uNFixed. Obviously with 3 minutes and 47 seconds of time to work with. That's a hell of a lot of time to actually pull off an EMP.
And they're also going to get another 30 seconds because NIP also got that. So regardless whatever they have like no time left, and eUnited will still get another 30 seconds on top of that when they cap the first point.
Also, you're assuming they're going to cap it.
That's assuming.
Assuming they're not going to get full holded. I mean, I can't really foresee a situation where that does happen. eUnited have a lot of time to just build up multiple EMPs, right? And NIP, what do they have to try and force out the EMPs early? Not a lot when they're running the tank
NIP is really like playing an uphill battle by playing
yeah.
these tanks into a Sombra.
It's going to be difficult for them. We saw initially as well, uNFixed went for the attack last time, got a hack off onto Fragi, opened it up completely. They lost their main tank almost instantly because he couldn't shield himself up. But we'll see if they can turn things around for now. Ninja Pyjamas on the defense. After be trying to defend against eUnited's own little dive here to work with. He's going to be getting the hacks in. Vallutaja works his way into the back lines as well, just going to be causing a bit of havoc. Will recall back to the rest of his team. Just trying to break their way through this choke, putting in decent damage as well. Boombox laying him in with his orbs, just charging them up, just letting them fly. So no Discord orbs on point. Vallutaja is in the back though, causing a bit of havoc here and there. Still finding the damage. No casualties on either side just yet. NIP doing a decent job of basically trying to hold this, but the more they hold this off, the more it's essentially just a battle of attrition for eUnited to work in, and uNFixed almost has the EMP as well.
He's actually getting some decent hacks off too. Most importantly, over to hymzi with Fragi down, or not Fragi, with kynnel down. They've lost out on one major support, which allows Kruise a little bit more freedom, especially when it comes to diving in towards, you know, the only man here who can do any sort of healing. It's Zuppehw. That's the EMP going down. I'm not sure if it really connected onto anyone, but nonetheless, hymzi secures that first kill. And vallutaja with 6 HP. He does have the pulse bomb, but he just needs heal. He's spamming away, but he still picks up the kill. And this is going to be eUnited taking that first point.
Yeah, this is a very sticky situation. NIP aren't going to be in a position to try and defend this. They're just running down these remaining players. And the later these kills are, the better it is going to be for them. Still a bit of stagger coming out there to the tail end. zappis going to be running into them as well. Just wants to respawn with the rest of his team. eUnited will get the cap here. And I believe they've got, what, 3 minutes to work with now? Indeed they do. And they've only got to get one tick on the board. So NIP in...
Oh, man.
They've got... It's an uphill battle, as you said earlier.
He should really switch off the Sombra right now because he's nowhere close to getting any sort of ultimate off. He should have switched off Soldier.
He can hack Zuppehw, and he can, or kill Zuppehw somehow, and there's no transcendence. This should be eUnited taking that first point hands down. Not to mention, they're already capping it over, and there's no one contesting.
Okay, hymzi with the boost will bring down Kruise. Tries to go for the reflect, didn't work out. Morte falls as well. NIP get the defense for now. Kills rolling in favor for them, but it's a bit of a dry push attempt there by eUnited, just waiting to build up a few ultimates. Fragi does have his Earth Shatter. Working, swinging his hammer into vallutaja, into the box. Not sure how vallutaja... spoke too soon, I was about to say. Not sure how vallutaja was going to get out of that one, but zappis just chased him down to the tail end of the earth. And ultimates online now. Fragi with the Earth Shatter. Zuppehw with the Transcendence. Workable, winnable.
I think it's worth using the Sombra just because they only have to capture a third of it, not the whole thing.
Well,
I still think it's
I mean,
like back then.
In theory, yes, I do think it could have been worth it, but since they were losing people, and since they were kind of like in a sense throwing away the snowball potential, it really just feel like eUnited just completely misplayed it, or they just didn't really want to bank on this snowball.
Kruise moving in, he pops the Dragon Blade off, finds the kills where they count. Fragi meanwhile just taking a little trip down under as he just charges away from the rest of the team, and eUnited just thoroughly winning this fight out. They're capping it up all the way. Fragi lays down the Earth Shatter, but the sound barrier and the EMP will be used in conjunction with another. So eUnited going to be taking this point. One tick almost along the way. Well, uNFixed, I should say, just getting the hacks off as well. The post bomb will get the DMech as well. Vallutaja putting in the damage, and there you have it. eUnited going to be taking Hanamura away from NIP.
I feel like eUnited could have played that lost point a little bit more safer than they did, instead of actually saving it for take.
Saving it for that one beautiful game. To be fair, I was speaking to Hammers afterwards. They said they were thoroughly taken off tilt by it. They weren't expecting the Orisa sort of combo at all.
I bet no one was.
Yeah, well, I mean, eUnited said that they'd seen you guys play it before, so...
We played it once against them. Only once.
You got good memories then.
I have your back.
eUnited on the defense, putting in the damage. Switch vallutaja onto that standard tracer roll. sharyk going to be putting in work as well. Fragi, however, just says no. Beats him down, hammer straight to the face. Bad monkey. And the bio grenade as well. That's quite decent by eUnited. Going to be finding a lot of damage here. Kruise tries to move it to the back lines, but he gets absolutely destroyed. Ninja Pyjamas just ripping through them as it stands.
I'm not sure what Boombox is doing. Probably trying to contest the payload sneaky-like. Sneaky beaky, but eventually he will fall, and Fragi gets a kill on Valu to allow NIP to continue to push his payload further. We're just going to wait for those respawns to come back in to help shuttle them back to the front lines. And zappis with the pulse bomb. This is where things can be really interesting for NIP. If you can just hit this onto any of the areas that actually going to be coming out of, I imagine this should be a one fight and a 1 point.
They should really be looking looking to hit the bomb on the monkey as fast as it can, as monkey is the easiest target to hit, and she just look for Discord on the same target.
Here we are, eUnited looking for an opportunity to defend this with vallutaja. The post bomb will collect it. Kruise as well, finding kills. So sharyk going to be bringing down Zuppehw with the swift strike, trying to put the damage around. The collapse is definitely there for them. Now Fragi behind enemy lines lays down the earth shatter, and it's a big one at that. It's connected onto multiple enemies. Can they find the follow-up though? Boombox is still waiting, lurking in the back lines, trying to put in that early damage. Almost like the 4th DPS player in certain circumstances. But uNFixed has been brought down by hymzi as well. This card is possibly moving forward for Ninja Pyjamas here, but Boombox, that was clutch. Finds a Transcendence to clear this off. He pops it off in the nick of time, and now eUnited going to be moving back into the fight to try and take this.
Let's see if they do have anything else to follow up with. Valu only at 60%, so no chance for that, but they've been able to at least hold NIP back in the meantime. So have to regroup up and look for another way to attack this one. That's going to be another hack coming through. And not to mention the EMP for uNFixed ready to go. Does escape in the nick of time. And as here to Vic say, and he wants him to use it. And there it goes.
Self-destruct used as well at the same time though, and it is going to be the cap there for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Didn't play the point. eUnited just letting it roll straight to the gates, and Ultima's online for them both, but Nip going to be happy with that scenario at least. uNFixed ended up dying. They wasted the EMP. Is this a scenario where uNFixed is going to be swapping off it? I mean,
I feel like he's going to actually stay on it because there's plenty of packs that you can actually play on.
That's
as
what I'm thinking.
attackers.
Yeah, there's tons of megas available to them all over the place, right? And also the mini health packs. Fragi is this section at least.
He definitely. I feel like uNFixed really misplayed there by not using it immediately in Fragi's face. He would have gotten another one who was standing right behind him, which I can't remember who it was. But if he would have done like used the EMP straight off the bat, then they would be in a much better position to actually hold that first point.
eUnited coming out on top. They gain the kills. Nip forced to back off for now. The hack comes out, I believe, onto hymzi there. Did it actually connect? He can't quite get away. No, not quite. He's going to be able to boost away to the rest of his team, but dangerously close to getting demeched, and that would have been a bit of a bad scenario there if you're a Ninjas in Pyjamas fan. I've had to wait for the repush once again, but eUnited have set themselves up for a solid defense, claiming the high ground. They've got Kruise with the Dragon Blade, Boombox with the Transcendence, if they wanted to initiate in with it together. Morte also close to the sound barrier, so it's looking pretty beautiful for them right now. And we shall see, however, as Ultima's coming online as well for Nip.
One thing we never really talked about is how Sombra not only has the EMP, right, which obviously is a huge asset, but the fact they make your Tracer and your Genji that much harder to kill because of how many health packs there's going to be and how often they come right back up. Mafu from the visor himself able to help get a kill onto sharyk, it looks like there. And Fragi, their Shatter is ready to go, but he's been EMP'd, he's been hacked right before that. He has no chance to use it as Kruise able to pick up 2 big kills.
He's in the back lines, he whips out the Dragon Blade, he definitely finds the kills for him, gets the D-Mech as well, just to follow it up, and he will eventually fall to hymzi though. I think hymzi was the baby diva form there, but Fragi is in such a dangerous situation here. Like, he's trying to survive, his team might be able to get to him there, but he's up against the dive of eUnited. They can just dive straight past him. The heals are coming in though, shield is a little bit weak. He's got the Earth Shatter. Is he just waiting to try and bait them in here? He's moving forward.
The only reason why he tried to not to stagger himself by just staying alive, then he was just trying to bait as many creatures that he could, so he could just stun all of them.
eUnited seems to have clocked onto it for now, still taking the fight further forward. Fragi, Fire Strike gets sent out, connects onto Morte, brings him down. Zappis as well, just putting in work for his team, just solidly putting in the damage as well. Now, Ninjas in Pyjamas in the driving seat, but you're in a dangerous situation where now eUnited is now closer to their spawn than it is for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Bearing in mind they do have an ultimate advantage, so they could initiate in with Fragi's Earth Shatter, and he's actually taken the high ground here, so taking it very aggressively, gets the charge in as well. Surely not going to be going for it here. The bubble's in the way, does get brought down. Post bomb sent down as well. Doesn't connect, gets booped off there as well. Fragi in a dangerous situation, no heals coming out on him. Is he going to be laying down? He is getting the Earth Shatter down, does bring it onto sharyk. hymzi with the self-destruct as well, brings him down. Sound barrier going to be used to try and prolong this fight out. Nip, though, using a lot of ultimates to clean this fight out. It's so close. Post bomb by vallutaja, not going to be connecting, but he might actually get the kill. Sleep dart misses from the side there, but the damage is done, and Nip are going to be able to cap up this second checkpoint.
I feel like eUnited was just trying to shoot themselves in the foot then by just trying to force the way past Fragi, and there's no way you're ever going to get past Fragi because he's going to have all the support in the world. They're just holding that one choke point, but Morte managed to save that by just booping him.
I think Zappis is trying to harass her a little bit, trying to maybe try to pick up an early kill, or at least attack from a different position, but unfortunately for him, he's not able to get the damage down once the right targets. In the meantime, the dive comp is just diving into his backlines, forcing IP to actually stall this payload and not actually continue to push it further. You can see Kruise Blade ready to go. Doesn't have the opportunity to pull it off just yet, but actually getting very aggressive. Gets caught out by mafu with a mid-air helix.
Yeah, that was pretty dirty stuff there. sharyk, though,
Nice.
still leading in, and he misses his jump as well, so he's behind enemy lines. He's stuck in a bit of a sticky situation. He gets brought down. It's going to be a beautiful little series of events there for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Worked out nicely in their favor. They got the superior spawning as well, moving in. They've got ultimates to use as well. Zuppehw with the nano boost. Zappis with the pulse bomb of his own. Kruise just sneaking around. He's waiting for an opportunity to use his blade, and he's searching for it. Does
I hope
spot.
Valo is with him, because then they can just double team on the support.
He's certainly looking for it, sneaking. Is this going to be the opportunity he's looking for? Still waiting. Not spotted just yet. Finally going to be moving in. mafu in a bit of trouble. Dragon Blade now used by Kruise. Does claim one kill, but mafu with the tag visor putting in work. Kruise still with the triple kill. He's going to be looking for the fourth onto Fragi. Fragi going to try and beat him down, but Boombox is definitely there with the support. And a great attack there by eUnited. Not expecting that flanking Cruiser.
Really good of Kruise to actually use this play there and not try to just finish him off with shurikens. Even though mafu was like already half HP-ish, Kruise could have just finished him off with the shurikens, but it was really smart of him to actually use the blade to just secure the kill.
Not to mention, it's about time for Morte to get his soundbar online too. In that little bit of transition, so he's going to be able to use that one, getting him. Boombox relatively healthy off the back with Valo getting an initial kill, but right now uNFixed doesn't really be contested towards the high ground. Not to mention popping the attack visor can allow him to pick up a kill here. It does get hymzi before he gets the resuit. Fragi's eventually going to chase him down, but Fragi won't be left long for this world. And that'll be another hold yet again here for eUnited.
Classic Fragi, chasing down the soldiers into the back lines, but 30 seconds now for Ninjas in Pyjamas to make an attempt to try and finish out this map. He's claimed one away from eUnited. And vallutaja playing very aggressively, going to be recalling back up to the high ground for now. He is in a sticky situation. Heal orb popped onto him. Nip trying to run him down. Fragi wants to try and take the fight in. Fire strike sent out, just whacking him, isn't he? Look at him. Look at him go. Still the point being played. Overtime going to be ticking down now. 4 seconds here. sharyk moves into the back. It's going to be the soundbar used by Nip to try and prolong the fight for as long as they possibly can. Nip putting in damage. Overtime taking over. Nobody's on the cart. Nobody's on the cart. Oh my goodness, Nip.
C9.
Nip 9.
I'm glad you said it.
Nip 9.
Nip 9. Oh boy.
Feels bad, man.
Thoughts,
Right.
gentlemen? Thoughts?
It really seems that ultimates is just being thrown out generally. It doesn't feel like there's much thought behind the ultimates from both sides of the teams.
I think that eUnited have been able to definitely be aware of their own ultimates relatively well. It's multiple times now I've seen Boombox throw his Transcendence, but in a position that they know they can use that because Morte will have his sound area up in just a few seconds after. They're always able to have that one support ultimate for every fight, which just kind of gives credit to Boombox and the amount of damage he's able to do.
Yes.
Because obviously that's how he's charging up so quickly.
He is phenomenal. I say it every time he's on the screen, but Boombox is in an incredible Zenyatta. He almost unlocks so much potential in a team that just runs dive. He is so on point with his Discord orbs, placing it on targets that are already being dived. So before they even know they're being dived on, the Discord orb was placed on them, and they didn't even realize they were the target, but the damage is already done. Boombox is just on point with it. Jason just going to be trying to fiddle with Tavig's hair there, making him feel uncomfortable again.
You have no proof.
Camera's not on him. You can do anything. You can do anything.
Now that feels bad, man.
But Nipper on the defense here. Going to be running Zuppehw.
Oh my god.
Look after yourself out there.
Surprise nose.
Surprise Jason
Lovely.
out of nowhere.
You can see how much of the screen that blocks off, right? Like that's to real size. That's to scale.
No, he's bigger.
What if you're watching it on your phone?
Poor
Then
phone.
it's small. Oh, Nip are on the defense here. They're going to be running the 2-2-2. It's going to be the classic sort of diving composition, running Fragi on the Winston, hymzi on the Diva. eUnited going to be using that Sonic Arrow just to scout out the inner workings of the map, make sure nobody's hiding, but eventually going to be switching back to a normal little composition here. And mafu immediately eating a ton of damage.
I'm gonna give a challenge to production to actually Photoshop my nose on players and other casters just to see what it looks like.
I don't want to
Just
look
put that
at
out
that.
there.
Nobody wants to look
I
at
want to
that.
see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
I mean, we can make him do some work today.
Be an abomination.
All right, well, now Boombox is going to be sitting a little bit behind his team here, trying to get those discords up, obviously healing up as much as he can, but you can see the right clicks coming out of this man. Constantly hammering away at anyone that actually peeks out a little bit too far, even getting a little edgy there, throwing it at his own teammates just to make sure to do damage nonetheless. But you see the Bio grenade come in, sharyk.
Nice.
Not really going to have a chance to escape this one, and hymzi's going to solidify that kill. Kruise looking for both supports onto NIP who are sticking together like you should be doing. At 60 health, he's just going to have to back away, pick up that health back.
Yeah, indeed. The fight's still being taken, and the cart has moved a decent deal, at least. Halfway through this first checkpoint, Nepal trying to put in the work for the defense, but Kruise is still alive. The bio grenade gets committed. Finding it now, Postbomb going to be used as well. Vallutaja just making it work, putting in damage as well, firing a whole clip into the enemy team. Mafu, though, with the Helix Rockets, was trying to add some back trading kills, backwards and forwards right now. Mafu tries to run, escape to the clutches of the little half pack there underneath Big Earls, but doesn't quite work out for him. And this is an absolute sluggerfest because there's just trading bodies into each other, one after another. eUnited, of course, have the advantage. Their spawn is closer, they can afford to do it, and they are coming out on top.
NIP could have had another fight here instead of trying to rush it in like they are doing right now by just basically playing on the points while just staggering.
It's an unlucky post bomb there by Vallutaja. We're going to be using ultimates as well. It's going to be an Anna Winston after all. Sharyk moving into the back lines, I believe, placed onto him. Fragi, however, just putting in work as well. That's like Nano Boost putting in the damage. But Vallutaja, meanwhile, just keeping an enemy team nice and busy into the tunnel section here. Cap's still not going their way. And Ninjas in Pyjamas I'm going to be pushing it forward, or not. They're just defending, of course, switching it around.
I'm surprised they even managed to get out of the choke points, really, because of how forced it really was from NIP side. It just seems that United wasn't really punishing enough by holding the choke points hard enough.
If that post bomb just caught onto anyone, if he was able to latch onto Fragi, who's just pretty much the forerunner of that one, that could have been the end of it. Just lobbing that one over. Not really going to connect, unfortunately, for him. And Mafu, the Zappis, will be using it as he's be able to back away, getting Kruise caught out. Gets a second as well on the Boombox. They get a third on the Morte. That will be NIP yet again holding, but they did invest the sound barrier.
2 ults for 1. Kruise with the Dragon Blade, and in answer to that, they used the Tag Visor and the sound barrier from Ninjas in Pyjamas. Debatable to Vic? Debatable?
I think it was the right play from Nip to do, given this circumstances, but it was also a lot of value from eUnited side.
One thing we're not considering here is that there's a minute on the clock right now, and eUnited still haven't actually capped up this first checkpoint. Boombox, though, that's the initiation we're seeing. He's getting ran down, and Promo Rage going to be popped off as well by Fragi, but he's already so low that this good orb just doing wonders on him as his team are just working around him and putting in the damage where he calls it. Look at those damage. The orbs popped out from this man is ridiculous. Now here comes the Transcendence as well, just trying to keep them alive. Sharyk using his own Primal Rage just to bring this fight into the tail end, just trying to push the cart neatly into the doors. hymzi is one of the last remaining members of the team, and he's going to get Helix Rocket down in the end. Zappis is going to try his hardest to contest, but 30 seconds on the clock, they will be able to cap it up and at least get this first checkpoint.
I didn't see exactly, but I'm pretty sure that was kind of a waste from Boombox.
He tried to keep himself alive for this.
Yeah, exactly. He should have just let himself die instead and then just save the ultimate for this next push, because now NIP is going to have a much easier time. They could just, well, since they still have the sun barrier from eUnited, NIP can't just use the boost on Fragi.
I believe that was Attack Visor, or at least the Nano Boost used there onto Winston. Once again, Fragi just leading it in. He does bring down Boombox. Cart being contested as well. Kills being traded equally. Vallutaja forced to back off around the corner. Was searching for that half pack. Didn't quite find it. Is going to be very low. Still, 70 roughly HP on the board for him. Zappis is also causing all sorts of havoc in the back lines. Just laying in the damage and making this really a nuisance here. But eUnited, how does he come out on top in that? Debated, man. Ridiculous. uNFixed, however, with the Helix Rockets. They're trading out these kills and it's still being contested. There's just players all over the place. eUnited will get a push in, at least for a decent degree, but Nip are now in a position where they can assault this with players.
NIP should really come out of the choke points right now, and they should just open up with a Muffa's ultimate to force out that sun barrier early, and then just back off and just come back in again, which they are doing.
Here we are, sun barrier used. Absolutely. Moving in with the Dragon Blade as well. Kruise slicing, trying to hunt for the kills. How does he get that one as well? It was the side slash straight through the tunnel section. Zuppehw putting in work as well.
It's like your fortune teller, Vic. Saw the attack magic come out, the sound barrier respawn with, and that's going to be a self-destruct as well. uNFixed is going to fall from that because he has no chance to run. But in the meantime, eUnited with only 1 minute and 10 remaining, not able to get the second checkpoint just yet, but that position to hold them off. You can see sharyk just trying to block them. He also has the ultimate as well to knock them away. Eventually going to jump back to his team as he realizes he was bio grenade, but again coming back in, knocks them another time away from the payload.
Absolutely, they're going to be using the Nano Boost there onto Zappis as well, just trying to prolong this once again, but Boombox has his Transcendence. He works it off. Is the post bomb going to be dropped by Zappis? Kruise ends up falling. Damage being put in as well. Sambara going to be prolonging his fight for Nip. Good defense for now, but Boombox is putting in work. Still, the shield from Fragi going to be laid down, giving him a bit of damage mitigation as they're still working their way around. And again and again, this is the sort of point where you get into Route 66, defending this section here. Definitely in the favour for Nip, whereas eUnited have got a long way to go and they've got only a single push here, Jason.
They only have the not nanoblade, but just the blade coming out, and they really need to be looking to get a lot of value out of it. Otherwise, they're probably going to get held here.
Boombox found the opening as well, though, and Kruise has the Dragon Blade. Here it comes, trying to put the work in, finds the slice, and he does bring down Zuppehw, gets a second one. Morte following up, Kruise on an absolute mad one, just clinching it for his team. There will be the checkpoint for them. Not quite in the overtime, I believe. No, just in the overtime, but still 1 minute 30 for eUnited to work with. Still doable for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
You see Kruise trying to push it up here, actually connecting quite a bit of damage, but most importantly, charged up that blade yet again, already about 30% through in just a few seconds. mafu will have his visor to hold on with, but NIP, I mean, the payload doesn't have to really get that far. Once it gets around this corner, it's only a few meters until they can close this map out, potentially pull off a 4-0.
This is really good of NIP to just rush up with the visor, because they know that eUnited does not have any support ultimates. So they really need to get some value out of their ultimates that they have currently, and just make a hold, just like step their foot down.
Dangerous territory for Zappis. Ooh, Boombox gets decimated. Zuppehw wants to show him what he's made of on the Zenyatta roll. Across the map, going to be headshotting him up there. Now, moving into the back line, sharyk with the Primal Rage, just buying some time for his team. Zuppehw going to be falling, and that is actually an opening that they can work with. Zappis unleashes the pulse bomb, doesn't find any targets, still trying to contest it. 30 seconds now on the clock, and it's Fragi's time to beat them down. The Primal Rage used on his own turf, trying to whack them away from the cards, contest it for as long as he possibly can. uNFixed, meanwhile, working his way around, playing around his team, but still the kills rolling in favour of Nip as well into these final moments, and they have a sound barrier to use, as well as hymzi's own self-destruct.
Well, they also have Kruise with the blade ready to go. They're just trying to bait out the sound barrier. Has finally been used, which is because of Kruise did pop his blade, but gets to kill the mafu. That's going to be a big man now. Now the Transcendence going to be popped as well to keep them healthy. And so looking for this final push with a couple meters left to go, and uNFixed secures another. Vallutaja, he's looking for this kill on the hymzi before the D-suit or the resuit comes back in, and he gets it. And now NIP with only 3 men up. I don't think they have enough to hold eUnited back from stopping them.
And there you have it.
4-0 in the